Okay. All right. We are live. I'm going to wait for Cyndi to come on. I hope and pray this is going to work. We will see. So, hi everyone. People are jumping on now. I'm going to see if she's jumping on here. She's not here yet, but I just want to welcome everyone that is coming on to Facebook Live. Welcome, you guys. Say hi and where you're coming in from. Hey, Kathy. Hey, Paul. Good to see people jumping back on. Please share this with your teams. This is an interview that you do not want to miss. Just amazing. And here she is. More. I'm going to promote to panelists. So let's see what happens. Cyndi.
All right. Hello.
I think you're muted.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I hear you.
All right, hold on. All right. Can you hear me now?
I can.
Beautiful. And I don't think we have. All right. Let me just double check with Facebook. Guys, hey Brian, if you guys could type in the chat box if you guys can hear us. And I know when we stream from Zoom to Facebook, it's about I believe like a 10 or 15-second delay. So I have to like watch it back on Facebook and see what's going on. It's just technology has not been in our favor. I don't understand why Facebook Live was not working.
I don't know. But if this works, we're good. We're good.
Yeah. So let me just see what they're saying. Sounds all clear. Yes. Coming in loud and clear. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So I just want to welcome everyone that's on Facebook Live, and more importantly, Cyndi, thank you so much for giving your time today, and why I wanted you to come on. Above all, us being friends and doing some work together, I think it's really important for people to be educated and continue to be educated on the profession of network marketing and all the different tools and resources that are out there. So why don't you start off by just introducing yourself to some of my audience that may not be familiar with you? And most importantly, why did you say yes to network marketing? And I know you've been in it for a long time. So maybe give the reasons why you initially said yes. And then most recently, 7, 8 years ago, making a switch. What was the reason behind that?
Sure. Well, thank you for having me, and thanks for all you do for myself and my entire organization.
You're welcome.
I was actually introduced to direct selling, honestly, as a way to get out of the house. I had 4 kids in 7 years. Someone said, why don't you, do a little with direct sales? So I started with a home party plan company, did that for 10 years. I would say it had a little bit of success with it, but basically just got a discount on products, got out of the house and was around other moms. That was the big thing, had that sense of community with other women and other moms. But then someone introduced me to my next business where I was successful. Again, another home party plan company. And for the next 10 years, I learned about personal growth and development and really learned my skills and became more of an expert in this industry. And it was with a very, very heavy heart. About 7 years ago, I decided it was time for one more change. I had one more company in me, and I wanted it to be around the health and wellness arena. And that's where I met you. And it was the best decision I ever made in my entire life, best business decision. My husband will be joining me full-time. He's been part-time with me for 4 years. And he'll be here full-time towards the end of the year, beginning of next year. My son is with me full-time. So my oldest of my 4 kids, and the others all help me too. And so it's just become a family legacy business, and it's been absolutely amazing. And I love it so much. And I'm so passionate about it that I really love to educate people on the power of network marketing. I'm so excited that John Maxwell is writing a book on this, because I feel like so many people do not understand the power of residual income and what network marketing can do for their families and to change their financial blueprint. So yeah, huge fan.
So let me ask you this. Would you agree that, I mean, you've been in this industry for a long time, so you've seen all the changes. Would you agree that the people that invest the most in their own personal growth and development end up achieving the most monetarily with their opportunities? And if you agree or disagree, why?
Absolutely. I've seen it over and over and over again. I decided to get certified as a mindset coach because I felt like that was the one thing that so many people miss that I've coached along the way. So many people don't understand that in order for their businesses to grow and their organizations to grow, they need to grow. And we just constantly have to be growing. I've been in this for 27 years. I've been in personal development just about that long. And every single day I have time scheduled out to be listening to podcasts, watching YouTube videos, reading books, listening to audios every single day. And I will do that forever because I will never stop growing. And so I try to model that to my team because I want them to continue that growth cycle too, because it really, truly we'll be capped on our success when we stop growing.
So what do you feel is the number one reason why someone may be afraid to dive into personal development, or above else, you now being a mindset coach, and obviously there was an investment into that. There was an investment in you and I working together to learn some stuff on LinkedIn, which we'll talk about. What have you learned as far as money mindset as it directly relates to network marketing, and how having a healthy money mindset does translate most of the time into a wildly successful business?
Now, that's a good question. Money mindset is a tough one. A lot of people were raised in situations similar to me, and I had a very poor money mindset. I had to read a lot of books and listen to a lot of audios to get my money mindset straight. And, I teach people that are new in the industry, there is so much available that is free. So start there. You can get, a lot of my son, he has a Kindle. And so he can download all the same books I'm paying for and reading and buying. He's downloading them from the library for free. So you can be creative around this. You don't have to invest thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars initially. Eventually you get to the point where you do need to invest some and have some skin in the game though. And so I've never been one that's afraid to invest in myself. I feel like any investment I make in myself, number one, I can write that off. This is a business and it's a business expense. But number two, it's the what you get back from your investment is tenfold. So you have to be willing to invest time and money at some point in order to get yourself where you need to be and where you need to grow. But in the beginning, there are very creative ways you can do this that doesn't cost a lot of money.
So let's speak to the person that's been in this game of network marketing, as we sometimes like to call it, for 2-3 years. They understand the basics. They're doing the personal development. They're reading the books. They're listening to the podcast. They're going to the events. They've had some success. They've had the initial crop of people they have brought in say yes, and they've turned a couple of consultants. People have dropped off, come back on, and now they're losing a little bit of hope because they're seeing a lot of everyone else around them start to take off and go this way and go that way, and they feel they're in the same place as before. What would be your number one recommendation for that individual that's now a seasoned network marketer that is not happy with their income? They're not happy with the team that they may or may not be building. What would be a great suggestion for someone that's in that particular position?
Yeah, and I've had to deal with this in coaching my team over the past year. For things to change, you have to change. So when I looked at my business last year, and we were flatline last year, and it was just a seasonal thing. We're coming out of it now, but it happens in this industry. I had to look at, instead of comparing myself to other people, that's a no-no. Instead of doing all the things and going off all the little bunny trails that I could have gone off, I had to put laser beams on. That's when I decided to hire you, quite frankly. That's when I decided to look at what can I do differently. What I was doing wasn't working. I needed to step up my game, and I needed to do some things differently. So I delved into personal development and growth a little bit more last year. I hired you. I started changing things up on how I was working my business, and I can feel the shift already happening. But in order for things to change, we have to change.
Love that. And I completely agree. Change, what I have found, is one of the most difficult and painful things that people need to do, because anything that you change or is different, it's really uncomfortable. It feels icky and weird, and it's a scary place. And like the presentation that I did for your team a few weeks back, I talked about leaning into the fear, going into the unknown, doing what is uncomfortable, because it will end up being comfortable. And that brings me to social media. So Cyndi, if you could go back, I want you to go back to that woman who had 4 kids in 7 years, that said yes to direct selling. Paint a picture for people of what network marketing and direct sales was like then compared to what it's like right now.
Oh my gosh. When I started, I don't even think we had cell phones, Scott. So gosh, everything's changed. It is so much easier to do your business from anywhere. I can travel anywhere and simply bring my mobile device, and there I go. I can go to work. You can network anywhere, where before, my gosh, and when I did party plan direct sales, I was going into people's homes. I remember printing off my MapQuest directions and taking them with me in my car to go to my hostesses' homes. I mean, everything's changed. Everything's different. So I really feel like it's much easier to build a business now. Not to mention, so many more people are open to it. So many more people are doing second jobs, third jobs. They're doing all kinds of things to earn some additional income. So it's just a whole nother ball game now. And it's so much more exciting. I mean, I thought it was fun back then, but I can't even believe 27 years later, I am more excited about my business and network marketing now than I ever have been.
So what has you most excited? Because, someone might say, how can you be excited about something, that you've been doing for 27 years? So if someone was to ask you that, Cyndi, why are you still excited? What would your answer be to that?
Well, number one, when you're with a product line that you are absolutely fired up and passionate about, that just continues to get better, that part of it's exciting. My favorite thing in this whole industry, I love helping people get healthier, but I love being a mentor to people that want this. That is my favorite thing, that I can bring someone on that has a bigger network than I do, that is hustling harder than I am. They can out earn me. They can out earn me. Never with my 20 years and what I did prior to my business now could I have said that. But I can say that now, and I have had people on my team, in my organization, out earning me at times. That is a powerful, powerful thing to be able to say. And so being able to mentor people to have the kind of success that we've been so blessed by, it never gets old. Never gets old.
So let's talk about the last 7 years, because you and I came in at similar times into this opportunity, and just paint a picture for people. We were all now trained, and our businesses were built upon social media, namely Facebook and then Instagram, and some people like yourself and some people on your team are now venturing onto LinkedIn. So talk about that for a second. Talk about the changes that you, as a top leader, not just in this opportunity, but in the industry, because when you get to the level that you are, multiple 6 figures a year, 7-figure career earner, that puts you in the top echelon in the profession. What have you noticed, social media changes wise, from the beginning 7 years ago to right now?
Oh gosh, that's another thing that changes like crazy. It's hard to keep up with it, but in the beginning, all we did was talk about our products. That's all we did. And it got old by everyone watching us. So then we learned to create curiosity. And then we did all these curiosity posts. And now we're back to just being genuinely, authentically ourselves and living our life on social media. That is where I'm most comfortable. I want people to know what I'm all about on social media. And the bottom line is, I want them to know that whatever they're going through, I am here to help them and support them. I'm not trying to sell anyone anything. Like, that is not my job. My job is to find out what their needs are and how to help them. And I think, as long as you are open and willing to change with the times of social media, you're going to be fine, because it's always getting better and better and better. You just have to kind of stay attuned. And you're very good at that, keeping up with how things are changing and teaching on that. And, that's what we need to do. It's going to change again. So every time we get comfortable in a certain place, right now, we're really being our authentic selves on social media. That might change next year. Next year we might, who knows, go back to talking products, who knows? So
Now, the big thing is this, and this is what I want to talk to you about. So, in the very beginning, obviously, people get, and I think this is still true to right now, people get a lot of traction when they first start posting about their new opportunity on social media. And so I want you to be completely transparent, with the audience, because there's a lot of people watching on Facebook right now. And just talk about the last year, how you mentioned that your business did kind of get stagnant, and what was once working wasn't working as good as before, but you sensed a need and a desire to start not adding something else to what you were doing on social media, but a desire and a need to start getting back to the grassroots of what network marketing is, which is conversing with people. So just paint a picture of what the last 12 months, was like behind closed doors for you and your family, compared to, post us doing some things together, how you feel about moving forward now after coming out of this.
yeah, another great question. So I'm a big fan of Eric Worre, and I go to his event every year. And he always says that the true tale of a successful person is their calendar, and to really look at your calendar. And I got to the point, Scott, where quite honestly, my calendar was filled with helping and loving on my team, doing events for them, doing training, business training, super Saturdays, all these things based around them, where 80% of my time should be prospecting. And I kind of lost sight of that, got comfortable. My income was in a good place, and my heart is to help my team. So I really was spending a lot more time focusing there. And when I saw what was happening last year, not just in our company, industry-wide last year, it was a big industry-wide thing last year. I thought, all right, for things to change, I have to change. And what can I do differently? So I just looked at my calendar, and I frankly said, I have got to be talking to a lot more people. And in the beginning, everyone freaked out when I left my last opportunity and started something new. They were like, what on earth? You were a top leader. Why would you ever leave another business? You were successful. So I had a lot of people asking me in the beginning. And when I put it out there and I showed my transformation picture, I was a marathon runner before starting with my nutritional program, and there was still a change. So people were like, what's going on? And in the beginning, I had a lot of people coming to me, and it was a little easier, to be honest. And then as time went on, I feel like the people that did follow me pretty much knew what I was doing. So it was time to find new people. And I knew I had to fill my calendar with calls and be connecting with brand new people. And that's when I reached out to you, because I knew that I needed to do something different. What I was working was not attracting new people. So I had to change things up.
And, Eric beautifully states, he says, the scariest place for any network marketer to ever be is when they open up that calendar and there's nothing written inside.
Mm-hmm.
And there may be things written inside, just like you said, a business training here, a couple 3-ways here, but it's all for everyone else, which is obviously a testament to you and your leadership. But a network marketer never stops prospecting. A network marketer never stops building. And the analogy that I use, Cyndi, is this. In network marketing, you are always looking for your next person. Because in network marketing, no one puts in their 2 weeks notice when they're going to let you know they're going to quit. They just kind of sneak out the back door and you never hear from them again. And what most people don't understand is that this is a numbers game, but more importantly than that, it's a who gets to who first game. And what I've been seeing and what you and I discussed even behind closed doors is that we see a lot of people posting and praying. We see a lot of people waiting for people to reach out to them. And you have to be the doer. You have to be the go-getter to reach out, to speak to those people, to have the ability to present this opportunity that changes your life physically, financially, and both. So there's something interesting that your husband shared with you that you shared with me after we began working together. And he said to you that this was the most he's been seeing you prospect in a number of years. Now, we don't have to get into that, but what I do want to get into this is the feel side of things. And you and I both agree that one of the best feelings that any network marketer can have is the feeling of being in action. So talk about what that felt like to now be in action again for yourself, not stopping what you were doing for your team, but how did it feel for you personally to be in action in prospecting again?
I just feel like I have more control over my business right now. I'm so excited. I have calls every day of the week booked, and I am being the leader that I want to attract. I am teaching my team that even at my level, even though I've been in the industry for so long, I am still looking for those people that I can help. And I'm not going to stop doing that. Just like I'm not going to stop with personal development and personal growth. This was a real eye-opening year for me in that, you know, I always am looking for new people. I always do what I can to prospect, but I wasn't near as intentional. I really lost that day in and day out reaching out to people. And so once I started that again, you know, my husband was like, you are as excited now as you were in the very beginning 7 years ago. And I think that's what happens to seasoned network marketers. You know, you're in this for so long, we do tend to get comfortable. And when you're earning an income you've never earned in your life before, you do get comfortable. And so it is not about me anymore. It's not been about me for a long time now. It's about how many other people can I bring along with me? Can I teach? Can I train? Can I mentor? And how am I going to do that? By showing them what they need to do in order to be successful. And you have got to be spending a lot of time reaching out to new people, connecting with new people. How can you help each other? The LinkedIn calls are amazing. The people are so professional and they want to collaborate. People are willing to get on the phone with you. They want to collaborate. They're entrepreneurial. And I am building really solid relationships. I think I've shared with you, and I'm going to increase my number now. I was saying about 50% of everyone I'm on the phone with, I am hoping to stay in touch with and have a relationship with. I'm going to up it to probably 70% now. My calls are just amazing. And it's because of the caliber of the people on LinkedIn, I think, which is so different than what I was used to. I was posting and praying. I got into that habit.
Tell the story about it was only about a week or two into you and I working together. Tell the story about that networking group that you discovered on LinkedIn. And what that alone, just those connections, is not only done, but what it's going to do. Just tell that story.
Sure. So one of my very first LinkedIn calls, and I have to tell you, even with 27 years in this industry, when I started doing these calls, it was new and it was scary. I'm not scared anymore. I've been doing it for a couple months now. I'm not scared at all anymore. But the first few calls, I was definitely a little more nervous. One of my very first calls, my very first week, I touched base with this woman. She wasn't really interested in what I had to offer, but we really did hit it off and had a nice connection. She invited me to an online women's networking group as a guest for free. I went on that meeting, I think a few days later, loved the group, connected with a lot of the women there. And I have now built some relationships with some people within that group. I actually hired someone to help me with my business from that group, all because of one phone call. So even if you're not getting an enrollment, even if you're not getting a business builder right away, the connections that you make are long-term. These are people that, this lady, even though she wasn't ready or interested in my services at this time, she's going to think of me. if she knows of someone that needs one of my solutions that I can help her with. She's going to remember me because now we're friends and we're in this networking group together.
It's not about being the hunter. It's about being the farmer.
Mm-hmm.
And most people are still in that phase where they're just reaching and scratching and clawing at anyone and everyone. And the person who plants the most seeds is the one that's going to reap the greatest harvest. So before we end today's call, speak to those people that might not be on LinkedIn yet, that are teetering. They might have been fearful of the investment, which obviously, you were actually when you invested with me, you were actually about to get on the plane to go to Florida for Disney World, and we started when you got back. But just speak to those people right now that they're really frustrated. They're not questioning whether they can do this or not, but they're just questioning the hope, is this going to work out for them? And they're seeing LinkedIn as just something else to add. Talk about the big difference between using LinkedIn to build a network marketing business compared to how people are using Facebook and Instagram.
The big difference, I would say, is that most people on LinkedIn are open. They're entrepreneurs. They're open to hearing what you do and how you can possibly collaborate. And that's amazing. So at first I was like, oh, I feel like I'm making cold calls to people. You're not making cold calls. These are people that are agreeing to get on the phone. They want to hear what you have to say. And I had a call today. This lady, by the time we were done, was actually in my state. She's inviting me to her home. I mean, that quickly you make really fabulous connections with people that really want to work with you. So the quality of the people is amazing. And what it's done for me is it's helped me on every social media platform. So because I'm now following your system on LinkedIn, now I'm more mindful when I'm on Facebook, what I'm doing. I'm not wasting time. I can really go down bunny trails on Facebook and start watching baby videos and, all kinds of cute things. And now I'm writing every day in my calendar what I'm supposed to be doing on LinkedIn, but then I'm more intentional on Facebook, more intentional on Instagram. So it's really made me step my game up on all social media platforms. And when you're serious and intentional on LinkedIn, you can use a lot of the same stuff and repurpose it, which you taught me, which does save time. So I think being orderly with it, being organized with it, being more intentional with it, posting and praying, it can maybe work in the very beginning of when they're brand new, but it won't work forever. You have to get to the point where you're more intentional. You have to get uncomfortable, even if it is a little bit of a risk or a little bit of, you're feeling a little uncertain about it. You're fabulous with supporting. I mean, I hope I don't drive you absolutely out of your mind. But
Cyndi, I love hearing from you.
Every question I have, you answer for me. And if something's not quite working, you'll help me, reroute it around. So I am absolutely loving it. My team's loving it. And I really think within the next 6 months, we're going to start seeing a lot of things happening. I feel this wave coming of not just attracting some product users of our products, but attracting some business builders who want to earn extra income with us. And, our goal is what you said, one business builder a month through LinkedIn, and
that's it.
We'll be happy campers.
So thank you for that testimony. That was amazing. And before I let you go, and I know you have a busy rest of your day, and we have the Memorial Day weekend, what you personally, so let's take out all of the money that Cyndi has earned in her career and all of the enrollments that she's had and all the people that she's brought into the business. With where you are right now, what has been your number one greatest takeaway from what you now know how to use LinkedIn for network marketing?
Attracting people who really want this versus dragging people along. I've spent a lot of years dragging people along, and I'm talking to people now that are professional, they're entrepreneurial, they're successful in their own rights and what they're doing. And some people still, even though they have success, they're still looking for a second stream of income, a third stream of income. So the quality of the people I'm super excited about. And everywhere you go, if you're a networker, if you're in this industry, you never have enough friends. You never do. We're like lifelong gatherers of friends. And my hope is that I'm going to be continuing to meet people that I'll be able to use my gifts and talents to help them in whatever way that they need my help, my services. That's my goal, is just to talk to enough people that I can find more people that I can help and bless, because this industry has been the greatest blessing in my life. Besides my God and my family, it is unbelievable what this has done for us. And I want that so desperately for all the people I love and the people I'm meeting. And so it's just a really great tool in our arsenal to be able to really do what we want to do in this industry.
Absolutely. I love it. And again, I just want to thank you above all else is just your friendship. You're just, you're amazing, an amazing human being. And I really do feel so honored and blessed to call you a friend and just to have your support in what I'm doing. And obviously, you know, I'm there to support you and your team for any and everything that I can do for them. And I just wanted to wish you and your family a wonderful holiday weekend, and thank you so much for giving your time to me and the audience today.
Absolutely. Thank you. It's an honor. I love working with you.
Have a great day, Cyndi, and thank you again.
Absolutely.
Bye-bye.